So the first card I have out here is not a great card. It is the Devil in the upright position. So let me get the cards shuffled here and then we'll see what's going on with you guys. So first of all, this card deals with clinging on to things, situations, people from our past that we really should sever ourselves from because they're not the healthiest binds in the world. So I would say that a lot of you might, because it is the first card that came out, I do feel that this is also residual energies as to, and I do feel it is relationship oriented as well, okay? So it could be like getting yourself in bad habits like drinking, smoking, doing drugs, and or even like unhealthy behavior in which you place so much emphasis on like material things at the expense of like spiritual development. So it's sort of like the only example that comes to mind here is that there you might be doing a job that is not good for humanity, but you're making a lot of money from it, so it allows you to like you're able to rationalize the the choices that you make based on the outcome, okay? So it's beneficial to you, it's not beneficial to anybody else. So you're like, I'm not hurting anyone, but it ultimately, a wrong is a wrong. So it's a matter of like seeing the bigger picture and to like really be honest with yourself about where you're headed, okay? So that is something, it's more like affecting this month. So yeah, a lot of you are in situations in which you don't really know where to turn. And a lot of you might be dealing with like a fire sign as well. A lot of you might be dealing with a fire sign. So I would say for Taurus, female Taurus, you're waiting for, you're waiting to be rescued. You're kind of like, your life is stuck, your life is on hold, and you're waiting for another person to come into the picture to save you, okay? So a lot of you might be dealing with like an air sign. For women, might be dealing with an air sign, and you're waiting for this person to like come around to your way of thinking, or you're putting like all your hopes and aspirations in one person, and as a result they are going to disappoint you, okay? So try to go it alone this month, okay? And once again, kind of like the Aquarius video, a lot of elements are showing up. We have the whole gamut. We have the earth signs, fire signs, water signs, and air signs. So for those of you who are single and are looking for relationships, I do feel a lot of opportunities are going to show up. And similarly to Aquarius, and this is interesting. So Aquarius had the same energies, the same court cards. However, the only thing that is showing up in the upright position was like an earth sign. Whereas everybody for you, they're all showing up in the reverse position, and the only thing showing up in the upright position is an Aquarius. So there might potentially be a love match between a Taurus and Aquarius for this month, okay? So if that's a situation you're dealing with, I do feel that for women or men, male Taurus, I do sense that there is going to be like an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, a Libra, and I do feel very strongly there is an element of an Aquarius energy here, where this person will come to your rescue. This person will shed new ideas. This person will bring about like enlightenment in your life, okay? They're going to transform your life. They're going to be able to break you out of your rut, break you out of these unhealthy habits, break you out of like a victim, almost like a victim type of mentality. They're going to be able to help you, control your finances, especially as well, and to help you get clarity into how and where you stand with other people, how you are perceived by other people. They're going to help you refine your communication, okay? So what I am reading here is that this is a very helpful energy. This is somebody who is like, the knight in shining armor, in a way that's like rescuing somebody who is feeling very stuck, okay? So it's a sword energy, so it comes with revelation, it comes with truths, it comes with a lot of information, so it causes like a total awakening of the heart and of the mind. So this is a very rapid energy, and at the same time, if it's a he he or she is showing up in the upright position. So if you're dealing with like an air sign, I would say this person is going to transform your world. Okay, if you're dealing with like a fire sign, there's going to be a lot of passion and they will rock your world. However, this is a better energy for you because you're lacking in a lot of the, being an earth sign. This person will bring into your life an aspect of yourself that you need to confront and that you haven't really like taken the time to think about. So first of all, I would say this. Um, like being an earth sign, your emphasis is more on like the the real things, the tangible things in life, okay? Whereas like the air sign is more philosophical, it's more like mental and also spiritual as well, okay? And there's also that element of spirituality associated with it. So when you are an earth sign, you are like not really developed in other aspects. So this person is bringing in new insights so that you can look at your world a little more holistically. So I hope this makes sense for a lot of you. You are showing up in the reverse position. So that's why I feel that this is not going to apply to everyone. There are a lot of Taurus out there who are very spiritually evolved, who are very like, who can approach life in a very philosophical level. I've actually encountered quite a lot. Okay, so there's, I do sense that there's also an element of like spiritual awakening that is going to be required of you for this month. So the energy for this month seems a little bit jarring. The saving grace is whatever situation that you feel very stuck in, somebody is going to help you break out of that rut, okay? So if it's a financial situation that you're dealing with, if it's unhealthy, toxic people that are always in your midst, that are always asking you for a handout, you're going to be able to find like the voice to speak up for yourself for this month, okay? And when you're upset, it is going to be a little bit jarring. So keep your temper in check. But at the same time, I do feel that Taurus are very patient. So I sense that you let people inch closer and closer to you, and and when you can't take it anymore, you do tend to explode. But then once you explode, you get over it, okay? So it's sort of like kind of like an Aries. But Aries, they will explode and they get over it very quickly, whereas you wait until that very last minute when you can't take it anymore, and there's just going to be thunder and lightning, but then you do get over it and you do go back to being your forgiving self and your patient self, okay? So just make sure that I do sense that, address issues as they creep up rather than holding them in, because I don't feel that the other people are aware of it, okay? And at the same time, there are people that are aware that you are very patient and you're very forgiving and you are very helpful, and they take advantage of it, okay? So if you're dealing with a fire sign or a water sign, be very careful about being taken advantage of. If you're dealing with like an Aquarius or a Gemini, I sense here like an air sign. Um, they actually want the best for you, okay? They will give you a lot of support. They will defend you when other people are attacking you, okay? So there's an element of a backstabbing energy at work for this month, unfortunately, and I'm very sorry, Taurus. But the cards do indicate to me that you don't really know who your friends are. You don't really know where you stand with other people. And so, for example, you might have like friendships or you might have relationships that have run their course, but you are afraid of letting them go mainly because of your past history, okay? So being an earth sign, it is really difficult for you to um, break away from old things and forge a new path for yourself. So I do feel that the danger here is that you are clinging on to things past their expiration date. And when we do that, the universe will step in to intervene, and things can be taken away from us in very painful ways. So just keep that in mind, okay? So for example, For Taurus men, you might be dealing with somebody who is seeing somebody else, and you find out that, you're not their main person, that you're probably somebody on the side, for example, and you get very, very upset, okay? And for Taurus women in general, you might be dealing with people where you're kind of like, you don't really know where you stand with them. You don't really know where they are half the time, where they are at night, for example. Or you might text them and you get very little feedback. And the thing is, you're allowing that behavior to happen, okay? And call them out on it. Don't hold it in. Don't give them like another chance. Don't just don't forgive and forget, because they're not going to change because of it. You're overlooking their faults. You're kind of like rationalizing, and at this point, I am sensing it's almost like you feel as if you have an inkling in the back of your mind what it is they're up to. They might be with another person, and then you're telling yourself that, like, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until I see proof. Okay, so I can't say that's a good or bad approach, but what I will say is, if you're no longer happy, if there are suspicions, you have to like really, the important question to ask is, why these suspicions are creeping up in the first place. If it's because, there are things hidden that you somehow overlooked, or if it's because just your intuition is guiding you towards, being a little more discerning, okay, and being a little less accepting of other people and their flaws. So, being accepting, there's nothing wrong with that, but what I am sensing here is, when people show their true colors over and over and over again, and you know that they're not good people, but you still cling on to them, mainly because of your past history with them, it's not going to end well, okay? So at the heart of the reading here is that you are in the reverse position, okay? And on top of the heartache card. So it's just not a good situation, and it's something that I don't want you to go through. So one way we can mitigate this is, I do feel that intuition is at work here. You're not going to be able to get tangible proofs that you're hoping for, okay? So try your best to go with lack of information at this point, because your intuition is trying to kick in. And, being an earth sign, it's very difficult for you to trust things that you can't touch, that you can't see, and you need rational reasons. You need tangible proof. At this point, you're not going to be able to get it. So, because you're not going to be able to get it, the best solution at this point is, if there are suspicions of, like, infidelity, if there are suspicions of, even on the work front, where you feel that other people are like looking out for your, are like trying to throw you under the bus, for example, or trying to backstab you, or trying to like protect their assets at your expense, for example, take the preemptive strike, okay? Because that's what is going to be required of you. So do it preemptively. And I do sense that if there are suspicions, there is a reason why they're creeping up, because everyone else is like in the reverse position, okay? So these suspicions are not unfounded. You have a valid reason for thinking, feeling the way that you do. So trust it and roll with it, okay? And take that preemptive strike if you need to, because you have to get out of that situation that you're in. And you are kind of like, at this point, stuck in, mental energies. So you're like blindfolded. You can't really see the truth. You're kind of like bound, gagged. Well, not gagged. I wouldn't say you're gagged, but your hands are bound. Okay. So the only thing you can do is to walk away from it. You don't really have to act. And I do feel that the truth will come to light later on. Okay. So I'm very sorry for this sad reading, Taurus, and it seems to me like that it can be a little bit troublesome, okay? For those of you who are involved with a fire sign, for those of you who might be in like a marriage situation with a fire sign, I do feel that it's going to be a little bit troublesome. If you feel that your relationship is stable, I do sense that your partner is feeling neglect from your end, okay? You might be so caught up with work, you might be so caught up with like trying to build up that financial base, or you might have financial concerns and worries, and it's not allowing you the time to invest in your relationship. So you really have to like set some time out to really be with your partner and to reassure your partner that you're not checked out, that you're not stepping out of the relationship, you're just, caught up in financial worries, okay? Um, at the same time, Taurus, try to really manage your financial situation for this week. I do feel that you're going to be okay by the end of the month. So after the revelation, after things come to light, you're going to stand your ground and you're going to stand firm in your, in your resolve on your own 2 feet, and you're going to reclaim your territory. So this is your card in the upright position coming in at the end of the month, at the end of all the riffraff, at the end of the revelation, the news, the backstabbing, the lies, and things like that, okay? You're going to be on top of the world, and other people's actions will have no bearing on you at that point, because you're going to quickly realize that you know their true colors, you know you can't scrap them from your life, okay? So that's one thing that I am seeing. Another thing is, for those of you who might be involved in a legal issue, it can be like money related, it can be on the work front, it can be just like a legal issue that is either popping up this year, that has popped up this year, like even as new for this month. I do sense that it is going to be emotionally destabilizing, and there might be a cash payout required from your end, okay? So if you're going through this, you're going to be very upset. But I just want to keep things into perspective. So for example, if there is a legal separation or a divorce, or you're taken to court to pay alimony, child support, and things like that, just part with your money gracefully, because money is a means to an end, and in the future there are going to be a lot more opportunities for you to earn back that amount that was paid out, okay? So please don't worry about it. I do feel that the sense of financial loss is like overriding everything else this month. So please be careful with that situation, okay? So don't let material things define your happiness. It would be, my the ultimate takeaway here, because if you are able to do that, then you're going to sail through this month without a problem. So that's one thing I want you to be careful about. And there are a lot of people involved in this spread, so what I'm going to do is pull out 2 more cards, okay? So yeah, there are just a lot of people as well, but I do feel that, if you're dealing with an air sign, this person has got your back. They're going to be there for you, and they're going to help you. They're going to defend you against other people. So it can also be somebody who's just a little bit younger, who's like who's very righteous, who will speak up, even though you might not agree with them. I do feel there's an element here where you will not agree with them, and then unexpectedly they stand up for you. And they do it mainly because they don't take it personally. It's not about you, it's about like doing what's right. So that's the spirit that you want to cultivate this month. Doing the right thing, okay? And regardless of who it is, regardless of who you're up against, trying to do the right thing is going to have more of a fruitful outcome this year. Okay, so yeah, a lot of you will be dealing with like divorces, and even a lot of you will be dealing with like divorces, breakdown in the homes, okay? Having to move, like even moving out of your residence, but you're doing this willingly and happily. So it indicates to me that, the financial expenditures, like the increase in expenditures, could be related to travel, could be related to like having to move home as a result of a breakdown in a relationship where you can no longer be together. So for your mental health and for your physical well-being as well, try to move away from it and have separate houses. If you are in a situation where it's toxic being around the other person, but neither of you have decided on a clean break yet, in the meantime, just rent another apartment, rent another condo, And I know that we all, like, we, not everyone will have the financial resources to do that, but I do feel that you're going to have to protect your peace of mind, to like to allow that distance between you and the other person to give you a better sense of perspective as to what you want to do, okay? And then what's also coming in corroborating this card here is the element of prayer. I do sense that the first week is going to be very, very destabilizing. And then things will start to de-escalate, towards the end of the month. But a little bit of prayer, prayer for a sense of direction is going to be required of you this month. Okay, so once again, I do feel that for the past few months, you guys have had a very good, I feel like a very positive reading. So this is the first one in which we have the Devil, Three of Swords, and the Tower coming up for you. So I do feel that you're probably being hit as well with the Venus retrograde, and also the that Saturn square in your sign. Okay, that Saturn transit square in your sign. Saturn is also in retrograde for the first few weeks of this month. So I do feel that you are going to be okay, because there is a person in your midst that is going to be around to protect you. At the same time, too much emphasis on material things, and too much emphasis on wealth and, just like status and things like that is going to be detrimental, okay? So the one thing I would say is there is an inner conflict here between physical proof and sort of like intuitive proof. So what I am trying to say that I'm not articulating very well is that you are very, very caught up in trying to get clear, clean-cut answers, and you're trying to find tangible proof. You're not going to be able to do that because the people around you are very, very adept at, evading your questions, adept at manipulation. Okay? So what's helping you here is your heightened sense of intuition. What's helping you here is, the universe is conspiring here to bring you these little, feed you pieces of information, okay? So if your intuition is kicking you overdrive and is telling you not to do something, not to get involved with certain people, not to trust somebody, I would say please sit on it and, take the time off and realize and think about where these messages are coming from, why you have them in the first place, okay? Because they are trying to warn you against these other people that might not have your best interests at heart. And at the same time, there are four sword energies. Three of them are pretty negative. So you're kind of like in a stuck place and you don't really know where to go. So your intuition is going to be your guiding light for this month. Okay, so trust your intuition when it comes to people. On the work front as well, I do feel that a lot of you might be engaged in a gossipy type of work environment in which other people are like, or even like, downplaying your capabilities, downplaying your performance, okay, your ability to excel in the work environment. So speak up for yourself in this situation, and I would say like take a preemptive strike. Do things like be the first to take the initiative, be the first to take that action. Don't wait too long, because I do feel that other people are testing you and they're trying to gauge your potential and your worth to their team on the work environment. And if you prove yourself to be more of a doer than a talker, and in general, I do feel that you're not going to have problems, okay? You are an earth sign, so you're very action-oriented. At the same time, you might be very slow on the uptake when it comes to new opportunities, and they want somebody who is a little more like spontaneous, somebody who goes with the flow, and somebody who wants just who can grab life by the horn and who can just seize opportunities when it comes into the picture. Okay, so they want somebody a little more spontaneous and a little more action, like direct action oriented. So try to do that. Try to take that preemptive strike so that the other people will have more trust and faith in your capabilities on the work front. Okay, overall, it is going to be a very like busy month. So I do feel an element of like hastiness is going to be required of you, okay? So people are in reverse, so they are going to be kind of like obstacles to the course of your life, to the things that you want to do, to the things that you want to implement. Additionally, the financial situation itself, if you are dealing with divorce, settlements, alimony, child care, child support, and things like that, it is going to be financially draining. But you are going to be protected this month. There is divine intervention at work. There's a lot of success coming through as well, so don't worry about it, okay? Just take a more proactive approach. Just be a little bit more hasty, because slowing down and not taking action is going to be the most detrimental course of action that you can take, okay, throughout this month. So I hope you have a wonderful month, Taurus, and update me and let me know what's going on with your life, okay, and let me see how this plays out for you as well. If you are interested in a personal reading, please contact me at temperatestar@gmail.com, and I will respond. And in general, I hope you have a